Missiles have been banned from Ebisu Circuit, so drifting as we know it is over. I thought I'd talk today about the Ebisu Circuit missile ban, because even though it's fairly old news, I'm still getting messages every now and again from people asking what the real story is. It started with this Speed Hunters article published late last year, Ebisu retaliates no more drift missiles. And it sort of talks about the evolution of missile drifting at Ebisu Circuit, especially at the drift mat series, which are attended these days by a lot of overseas drivers. The article was a little bit sensationalist, and as a result, a lot of people got very worked up about it. Does that mean no more fun at Ebisu? Well, let's talk about what a missile actually is. If you do a Google search in English for drift missile, the earliest result is actually this article that I posted back in 2008. The cars in this article are closest to the original meaning of drift missile, meaning a car which looks fairly standard on the outside but has a few performance parts installed on it and is used by a driver who is fairly skilled, like for example a D1 Grand Prix driver, to practice close driving with other guys without worrying about braking the car. For example, that's Shinji Minowa in the Skyline, Koguchi in the Laurel, and Daigo Saito in the 90. Using drift cars in this way peaked between about 2000 and 2010. It's a period in which there are a lot of these sorts of cars around which were not good enough to export and not really good enough to register for street use either. But unfortunately these days the meaning has changed to piece of junk that you can drive into walls and not worry about. Here's a picture from the first time I visited Ebisu Circuit's Drift Matsuri back in 2006. That's more than 10 years ago now, wow. And this was about as close to a missile as I saw there. Like most of the cars looked more like this back then too. I mean, that's fairly tame by today's standards. And what I usually see over here too is if guys drive their missiles at the track and have a crash, they usually tend to try and repair them or at least clean them up before going out again. For example, here's Daigo Saito bashing out the door on his quite infamous JZX90 practice car. So what actually are the reasons for these rules? A lot of people have thought it's just about aesthetics and that they don't want ugly looking cars at the track. I think one of the reasons for this was because Driftland over in the UK implemented some rules meaning that cars that looked like the one down the bottom were no longer allowed. But it's not about that, it's about safety. People might not know this, but there were a couple of fairly big accidents last year involving guest drivers from overseas, and one of which involved him leaving the circuit in the back of an ambulance. If you think about it, the kind of driving a lot of people do at Ebisu Circuit with just a 3-point seatbelt and no roll cage and sometimes an open face helmet is pretty out there. Don't know if you've noticed on the videos of Ebisu Circuit, but there's not a lot of runoff there. Like there's walls everywhere, and the wall at Minami breaks ribs on the regular. Like I've seen x-rays of people with broken legs there too. But first of all, there's two groups of people you need to know about at Ebisu Circuit. First of all is Ebisu Circuit's management themselves. The second one is these guys here, Power Vehicles. If you don't know who PV is, they have a business at Ebisu Circuit that people can buy a car from, drift at the circuit without having to worry about anything other than turning up at the circuit and driving. And it's more or less the fact they don't want anyone hurt driving a car that they supplied. If you want the full story, you go onto the Power Vehicles Facebook page and it's all written here in one massive paragraph. Here's the good bit, cars that are considered too far gone. I mean, I think we can see the common theme here. It's cars that have taken a few too many hits. Well, that's seen Minami one too many times. Like this Zafira, you can see it's been hit so many times that the bodywork is basically flush with the fuel tank. And if this door gets another big hit, you're going to end up with a broken pelvis. Must be structurally sound and hold up to a reasonable impact in the event of an accident. Alright, so the common theme is the car can crash and you don't get hurt. Bonnet doors must be latched at all times. I mean, these rules are by no means strict at all. Like, Ebisu Circuit is ridiculously lenient when it comes to this sort of stuff. Here's one that people have got a bit irritated at. No passengers on Nishi Long or Higashi full courses in Matsuri. It's an unnecessary risk for all involved. I mean, I get that. Nishi and Higashi are like fourth gear courses on the entries. So, I mean, no matter what happens, someone's going to complain. Oh, what if I write my car off on the first day? It's like, well, that's motorsport. That happens all the time. And look, at the end of the day, there's nothing stopping anyone from bringing a car in privately from the outside and driving it at Ebisu. Alright, so Power Vehicles customers might have a couple of special rules. Fair enough, that's their call to make. But what about Ebisu Circuit itself? Well, I think people don't really understand how absolutely awesome it is at Ebisu Circuit compared to other tracks in Japan. For example, at Fuji Speedway, if you hit like one piece of Armco barrier and bend it, it's about $200 and something to replace. And see this tiny little tear in this foam barrier? This is at Honjo Circuit. I had to pay over $200 to replace that. There it is, 21,000 yen. So that's over $200 for one foam block I had to pay. And believe it or not, there's a sign in the toilets at Sportsland Yamanashi which says, if you spin out and put dirt on the track, it's a $100 fine. And I've talked to the guys at Ebisu Circuit about this, and they don't want to have a whole lot of rules. They just want everyone to have fun and enjoy themselves. So I think if we could all use a bit of common sense and courtesy, I think it'll go a long way. At the end of the day, who does this really affect? Well, it means that people might have to take a bit better care of their cars, which is fine. And it might keep away people who consider drifting to be an alternative form of banger racing, which it's not. Actually, this kind of looks like fun. Of course, people have been asking, what about the beer can? Is the Skyline going to be okay under these new rules? Of course, there are a few things I'd like to change on it, but overall, it is a fairly well-maintained car, so don't worry, it's going to be fine. As you probably saw in one of the recent videos, I have the headlight situation sorted. Okay, next thing. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I'm finally getting around to it. Mail time. I have a postal address now on the About page on the YouTube profile, so if you want to send something, send it. Okay, first box. This one's from D&D Precision over in the States. Hey. Oh, is that carbon fiber? Damn, that's cool. Should this go on the van or the Skyline? Thank you very much. D&D Boss, very nice. And the hardware, also purple. That's going to look really cool. D&D banner, that'll go on the Skyline. Extended shift knob. This might be going on the Skyline too. Air fresheners and stickers. Note. Hey Alexi, Derek and Dane here. We've been huge fans of Norio ever since you started on YouTube. We've included some of our coolest products for you to use and try on the Beer Can R32. They wrote Beer Can. Derek and Dane, thank you very much. As soon as the Skyline isn't covered in 3 foot of snow, I'll be installing those parts. Okay, next one. I opened this a long time ago, but I haven't shown them yet, so I've got to show them now. Shirts Tucked In. If you don't know Shirts Tucked In, it's a young guy from Australia called Casey who has a really, really good eye. Like, he's a mad photographer. He's been making these sort of retro products recently. So first thing, driving gloves. K-Office style retro racing gloves. I specifically asked for the pink ones. And what I'm excited about is the fact that K-Office gloves don't actually fit me because my hands are too big. That is so pimp. All right, next thing is more gloves. These also fit very nicely. Green screen's going funny. I think I'll use these as my unload stuff from the car gloves instead of the work gloves because I don't want to get them all greasy and dirty. Oh, he also sent me laser cut keychain and these retro style stickers. So shirtstuckedin.com. Casey, thank you. Okay, next one is, it's not really fan mail because it's a friend of mine, but a few years ago I went over to Norway to drive in Gatebil with a Drift Monkey team. And when I was there, I got addicted to these things. That's actually meant to be green there. It's let me turn that off. How's that? There we go. That looks terrible. You can see it now. Quick Lunch. It's the Norwegian version of Kit Kats, and they taste so good. So it's basically like Kit Kats, but it's not pronounced Kvik Lunch. It's just Quick Lunch. Let me turn the green screen back on. There we go. There's a guy on the Drift Monkey team who's like a helper and photographer called Jens, and I asked him to send me some, and he sent me this much, like no joke, he sent me the entire shop. And he even sent me some of the dark chocolate, like adult flavor. Jens, tusen takk skal du ha. Okay, last one. Okay, this one is from the Netherlands. No joke, the return address is Vincent van Gogh Street. It's been opened by Japanese customs. I wonder what's in it. I made a mention on Snapchat one time I like stroopwafels, and now I have a year's supply. How much did you send me? I can't even pronounce that. Oh wow, I should have opened this box a bit earlier. These might be getting a bit old by now. I need to go and make a cup of tea now. Look at that much. Udin Neven, thank you very much. Alright, that's all for this week. Here's a quick preview of some upcoming videos. The first is a competition at Nikko Circuit, Sampatsu, or 3-motion drift. But this competition has its roots in illegal street drifting. Next is the Hardcore Tokyo event that was held at a diver and shut down by the police the night before Tokyo Auto Salon. Then of course we have coverage of the Tokyo Auto Salon itself. Here's the new look for the Kinokuni Jimny. Then the Tokyo Hardcore event that was held at Nikko Circuit after the Tokyo Auto Salon. Then we have the latest incarnation of the Caroline Racing Quad Turbo S14. Will it run this time? And then we have more snow drifting at Ebisu Circuit, but not with the Skyline this time. So plenty of stuff to look forward to. If you can't wait for that, here's some more stuff for you to look at and follow. Also in the comments, let me know what you think about this new studio style format. Hopefully it means I'll be able to get more content to you per week. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.